Well, we just pulled into Texas about 30 minutes ago, and I really want to choke my honey today. I was in such a great space yesterday. I'm all like centered and strong about everything and what we're gonna do and how we're gonna. Shortly after I recorded the video yesterday morning, we got in the truck to like go to our next camping spot. He brought it to my attention that I had said something earlier in the morning that had really triggered him and made him want to say something mean to trigger me, you know? And so we talked about it a little bit, and he was right. My wording was completely out of fucking line. I also told him, you know, if you could give me the benefit of the doubt in those moments, that would really help too. And just know that when I'm being snarky about something, that's because it really bothers me. But I apologized. I did, because I was sincerely sorry. You know what I mean? I definitely could have used another choice of words. But the particular subject that we were talking on, he was like, well, I can't do this and I can't do that because, you know, I don't know what you want and how you, and all this other stuff. And so we had this discussion yesterday about how that's the biggest problem that he and I have, is that we are like walking around on eggshells around each other. We don't want to upset each other. We don't want to say the wrong thing. We don't want to make sure they're getting what they want. And so I was like, dude, that's the whole thing. Like, that's what I've been working on lately, is just standing inside of my feminine energy regardless of how you're behaving. You say your snarky shit, your passive aggressive bullshit, and I'm like, okay, we have two choices here. We can either be passive aggressive too, or we can stand in our feminine energy. So I don't know if it challenged him or what. I know I'm still pretty triggered, so I'm a little reactive with the way that I'm feeling right now. But part of me feels like he was just like, oh, really? Let's see how long she can stay in her feminine energy when I'm being snarky and fucking rude. But the rest of it is just the man does not know how to speak. He just doesn't know how to speak. So when he wants something to happen and it's not happening because he hasn't said anything, then he gets all snarky. So what happened this morning, let me get situated here, so I got something to talk about. So what happened this morning was I do all of the finding where we're gonna stay for the night, and it's a tedious job, and especially when we move every 2 days. Like, of the 112 days we've been on the road today, I've probably found 80 to 90 places for us to stay. Yeah. What kind of time's involved in that? I mean, it's not like you just pull it up and say, oh, here's a camp spot. No, you gotta look at it. Are dogs allowed? Is there water there? What's the cost? Is there something better around? Because this one's $40. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's like a never-ending research, and it all kind of starts running together because we move so often that I try to do 2 places at a time so I can have a couple of days off from it. Well, we've moved a lot in the last week or so, you know? So like the spot we stayed at last night, we stayed at one night. But there was over an hour research to get that spot. You know what I mean? So it's like, so this morning I asked him what our plan was. We were waiting for a package in El Paso. It was delivered this morning. So we were kind of on the fence last night about what we were gonna do. If we waited all day for the package, then we'd just find somewhere close to stay. If the package came early, then maybe we can make it all the way to Alpine, Texas. So we just need kind of a halfway spot between where we're at right now and Big Bend. So Alpine was kind of it, you know? Now in Alpine, we need a place that's got showers, or at least water hookups, because it's been a few days since we've had a shower. Definitely need to do laundry, and probably some grocery shopping. So it's like you need to like look at all those things, right? And my main goal is boondocking, you know? I go to an RV, I look for an RV park very rarely, you know? So when I asked him this morning, I'm like, what is our plan? What are we gonna do? And he's like, well, we need to decide if we're gonna stare at our phones all day. It's not the first time he's made a smart aleck, snarky comment like that. And I was like, what do you mean we're gonna stare at our phones all day? Well, there's so many times that we're gonna do things and we just stare at our phones all day. And I'm like, so many times, like, oh, well, next time it happens, I'll point it out. Okay, well, it sounds like to me you're just trying to pick a fight this morning. You know what I mean? Because if it's not about this morning, why are you bringing it up and why are you all mad about it? And he's like, I'm like, because I'm not staring at my phone wastefully. I was so triggered. I'm still so triggered because the truth of the matter is he has no idea what is involved in finding us our next camp spot. He gives no input, and when he does, it's usually because I need to look for a different spot. It's never like, oh, I found this spot. It's got this and this and this will really serve our needs. And he'll be like, I don't know. Okay. And when I'm spending these hours on research about where we're going to go, what is he doing? He's usually on Facebook or watching TV. So that's frustrating too. So yeah, I am freaking triggered this morning, and I'm triggered hard. And this whole hour drive to El Paso from our last camping spot, I've been trying to walk myself through it because I'm like, I want to stay in my minimum energy. There are so many times, and I don't know if this is a subconscious thing with him or what it is, but there are so many times, like right before we're getting ready to do something, he's got to do something snarky to upset me. You know? And I don't know what it is. I have no fucking clue what it is, but it drives me absolutely bananas. There was no reason to make that comment this morning. And when he came back, he was like, maybe I could have used a different choice of words. Just as snarky as he said the first thing, like that's supposed to make me feel better. And the most irritating thing is when stuff like this happens, and once I get like really upset and I'm just like, fine, fuck it. I told him, I'm like, you can find all of our places to stay. And he's like, oh, see, can't even tell you anything or you get all reactive. Yeah, I'm reactive on this one, buddy, because there's a ton of time and energy I spend on it. A ton. Like, so, anyway. So I'm just going to try to find my center and try to go back there. I want to be happy about the fact that I'm in Texas. I want to be high-vibing. I want to be in my minimum energy. I don't want to be all wound up over this. So I have to let it go and let it play itself out and just let him do the searching for a minute. Maybe he'll appreciate it more. Anyway, we are getting back on the road, and thanks for watching.